Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you an easy guide on how to beat the one baby spider or spinneret boss fight in Mewgenics. Now, I would recommend bringing fire to this fight and big attacks because later on when we attack it, it's going to spit out spiders on every attack, so those late hits are just going to make things a lot worse. I would also recommend bringing our own summons to this fight, especially if you got things like maggots, because they can actually eat up the webs for our teammates and also be able to deal a bit of damage over time. Something like bleed is also really nice because when Spinneret goes away, it can go up into the sky. It'll still get hurt by bleed and poison and things like that. So those can be nice to use. Bleed and fire being the two best. I also think that the Cleric is the best class to bring here, especially with things like Holy Light. If you're able to get that, damaging and healing your teammates is nice for the sustain. The trick to this fight, though, is to get rid of the webs. Now, you can attack your team with those small attacks that I mentioned because that'll break them free, and it's actually probably best to do that so that your teammate can continue damaging the boss. But another trick is actually using movement and mobility skills like you saw there. Something like swap, any of those movement skills will actually get rid of the webs that your character has on them. So it's good to have a lot of mobility. I typically like to have a mage on the team as well, and they can get things like warp and teleport, so those can actually be really nice as well. The Cleric can actually heal. I have the I had those maggot plus, so I actually had a few of those that had a decent amount of health that could survive a couple hits from this boss. So my big damage dealer here was a ranger. You saw that 26 hit was really big. It did spit out a spider there, but it was worth doing. And if we have a lot of summons in the field here, we're actually able to eat up a lot of the webs so that we don't get caught up in them. Whenever the spider goes away, though, it's kind of a DPS check to get rid of the spider kittens. You always want to remove them. Even when this big spiders out here, it's sometimes worth getting rid of the kittens because they can overwhelm you with a bit of extra damage. But if you have summons, they can deal with them pretty easily as well. Now, another trick is actually to have your team spread out a bit. If you end up getting them grouped up like this, sometimes it's worth it to have them together for the Cleric to heal them. But the trick to having them apart is that whenever this boss comes down, it's going to spit out webs in an area. And if you have your team all together, it can sometimes web your entire team all at once. Another thing is that if you're on fire, you're actually immune to all of the webs. So putting down fire on the ground can be really nice, and it helps for the team. I didn't have any fire abilities here, but my cat would sometimes release elemental damage whenever it did a spell casting, which would end up leaving fire later on, which we were able to use. You can also press the Windows key G or the Control G to be able to find any of the hidden spiders that may be hiding on here, because it's sometimes hard with all the coins. So Control G will give you that. Again, bless is such, or being able to heal in an area like prayer like this is super useful because there's just some times where the spider's not gonna be around, and being able to replenish your team makes a big difference. And you see there, it just fell into the fire, which makes it take a bit more damage. Whenever you're doing certain attacks, it's going to be good. So I also found that if you ran a thief in this fight, you can pick up a lot of these coins, and the coin skill, throw coin, does a lot of damage, and you'll be constantly replenishing it. So you can kind of cheese that fight if you do have a thief with that. But this is how to beat the Spinneret boss fight in Mewgenics. If this was useful, hit the subscribe button below.